My name is Pericles Rellas, prosperity coach and founder and creator of the Abundance and Prosperity programs. Here are 5 things you can do all on your own to improve your own emotional intelligence. Number 1, acknowledge. I think it's safe to say that almost all of us at some point in our lives have tried to deny that we're experiencing a certain emotion. Whether at the movies, when the dog's life is in danger, and we feel the hot burn of tears forming behind our eyes. We fear being judged if we show emotions or thought of as being weak or a crybaby. We try really hard to force them down. And over time, we get better and better at hiding these emotions to the point where they become completely muted. We say things like, "I'm not very emotional," or "emotions are for children." If you want to expand and grow your emotional intelligence, the first step is to acknowledge that you have emotions rather than trying to suppress them. Now, it may seem odd, but when was the last time you actually acknowledged having emotions to yourself or to someone else? Start by declaring it to yourself out loud, then acknowledge it to the person looking at you in the mirror. Now, this might be harder than you think. Do this over and over again until the person in the mirror believes you and is accepting of you as a person with emotions. Number 2, embrace. The next step is to actually embrace your emotions. Acknowledge them is one thing, sort of like acknowledging that you have a younger sibling, but you never want to hang out with them or spend time with them, much less quality time. Now, can you really embrace them? Own that you have them and allow them to show up whenever and wherever they appear. And do this without judgment of any kind or loss of power or self-worth. Simply notice them in the moment and just let them be. As with acknowledging, you may find this difficult in the beginning. So when possible, go back to the mirror and share the emotions with the person you see there. Watch them as they experience the emotions and see if you can just be with them. When you find you're able to embrace your emotions, whenever and wherever they show up, you are now ready to move on to the next step. Number 3, expand. As you become more comfortable embracing your emotions, you can then begin to expand them. Just like the younger sibling example, can you start to spend more time with them, being vulnerable as you engage in different activities? What people, places, and things conjure up what feelings and emotions for you? Can you allow those emotions to evolve as you go about your daily life? Allow them not just to show up, but to rise and fall like riding a roller coaster. Which are the most predominant emotions that you experience? What physical manifestations arise with those emotions? Expand where, when, and what emotions you experience as a regular practice. Just like spending time with someone you love, what new and exciting adventures can you pursue to elicit a more diverse palette of emotions in your life? See how much you can expand your capacity to experience emotions in all aspects of your life. Number 4, create. Having acknowledged that you have emotions and developed your ability to embrace and expand them, the time has come for you to create. Up to this point, you've been working with the emotions that have naturally shown up as you move through your normal day. Now, you're going to begin to actively create the emotions you would like to experience in any given moment. Rather than being at the effect of an emotion, you're actually going to be the cause of the emotion. I like to call it going from default to design. Take a situation where your younger sibling is doing something or behaving in a way that's totally annoying. And while you're trying to hang out with them, they continue to do this. Frustration and even anger can arise. This final step is creating your ability to shift that frustration or anger to something more positive like joy or fun. Prior to your next engagement with your brother or sister, get present to the unwanted emotions that have shown up in the past. Just notice them and let them go. Then declare out loud to yourself that you are creating fun, joy, and happiness for the two of you during your next encounter. Really get present to having that experience with them and let those emotions take you over. During your time together, notice when those emotions are present and when they're not. When they are present, acknowledge them. Allow them to expand and grow. And when they're not, let go of any emotion that is undesired and redeclare the emotions you're creating. This might sound weird or even impossible, but if you really take it on, you will see the results very quickly. What happens is you begin to actually experience those created emotions, and that new emotional state impacts your future actions and interactions with your sister, which in turn impacts her. Eventually, you will find that you go into interactions with your sister with these new created emotions, as they have now become your new default emotions whenever you see her. The step of create can be the most powerful and rewarding, as it allows you to transform any situation in your life to one that you love. Number 5, celebrate. As with anything you are taking on in your life, learn from your failures and celebrate your successes. During each of these steps, stop and celebrate every single win, no matter how big or small. When you celebrate, you train your mind that this is something good that you want to replicate. Become your own biggest fan and supporter. When we forget to celebrate, we miss out on letting ourselves know that we did a great job. And be sure not to diminish a small win. In fact, make an even bigger deal out of it. Our minds literally don't know the difference between what we are actually experiencing and what we say we are experiencing. So leverage that. The end result is the same. We feel good. We feel happy. We feel empowered. So honor yourself and celebrate all that you are and all that you have become.